Yeah, this is my Roy Williams bobblehead. I got this at a Philadelphia Eagles versus the Detroit Lions game back in 2003, 2004. I think it was 2003. Maybe it was 2004. I don't know. I think it may have even been Roy Williams' rookie year at the time. But I got this then. So that just goes to show you I'm a big Lions fan. I also, the year before they went 0-16, I split season tickets. Well, I didn't split, but I bought half of the season tickets from a coworker at the time. They were $50 a pop, I think, or $60 a pop. I don't know. They were pretty good though. I think they're on like the 40-yard line, about 25 rows back. But anyways, um, they actually did pretty well that year. I think they were 6-2 going into the Thanksgiving Day game. I think they lost to the Giants on the last second, but besides that, they were doing really well that year. And then they fell apart at the end. Then the next year they went 0-16. But yeah, so anyways, I am a huge Lions fan. Last week I was watching the playoff game, and yeah, there were seven big blown calls that the NFL has apologized for to the Lions. Unforgivable. I'm not too caught up on that. I'm a little more upset that the Lions, I think, scored a field goal in the whole second half. They allowed 17 unanswered points. That's the stuff that really makes me angry as a Lions fan. Early on, it looked like Stafford came out to really play hard and to take this game over when he ran for the first down, lowered his shoulder. The offense was doing well, the defense was doing well, everything was clicking. That was what I wanted to see. That's what I expect to see, And second half, I didn't see that in anybody really. There was hardly any fire. It's hard. This is kind of what this season has looked like to me. The Lions have played well enough to win a lot of games this year. But for example, Matt Stafford, he looks great for a series or two here and there, and then he looks terrible. He'll overthrow a receiver by 10 yards, or him and his receiver won't be on the same page, and maybe the receiver doesn't run the right route, or he thinks they're supposed to run another route. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not a coach. I don't know what play is called. I don't know what's supposed to happen. I don't know what the read is or any of that. And any fan out there who says, "Oh, this, that," most of you don't know what the heck you're talking about either. It's hard for me to sit here and criticize too much. They did a really good job this year. I think they did better than most of us expected. And they raised our expectations. Going into year two under Jim Caldwell, I expect them to be up there in the hunt for the NFC North and possibly the whole NFC. I mean, you could argue the Lions were one of the top three teams in the NFC North, or NFC, I mean. The only reason I'm not going to say they're better than Green Bay is because Green Bay is playing next week and the Lions are not. But you could make an argument that the Lions are good enough to be in the Super Bowl. Like, they have enough talent. They just need to get it all together. And I think the second year under Jim Caldwell might be the year we're talking about the Lions competing further than one round in the playoffs. Not making any guarantees. We have no idea what's going to happen in the offseason. We don't know if Sue's going to be brought back on a franchise deal. We don't know if he's going to re-sign or if they just outright choose to not re-sign him and take the cap money for something else. The defense was good. They played really well this year. And the offense, which seems like that's where all the money is, has been lackluster. I mean, they have not been worth it. They have not been worth their salary. I mean, okay, Calvin Johnson is paid like the best receiver in the game. Right now, I don't think I can say he's the best receiver this year. Last year, I think it was on the fringe. A couple years ago, yes, hands down, best receiver in the NFL. And he has that kind of talent. He is a freak of nature. That dude is talented. He's got the best attitude you could ever expect in a guy. You know, he's sacrificed for this team. He's done everything. And I just think that, and I love Calvin Johnson. Don't get me wrong. I have Calvin Johnson jersey. Love the big man. Um, love him being in a Lions uniform. I hope that if he decides to stick around, he'll settle for less money. I know that's asking a lot, and professional athletes ask him to take less, but I hope that he'll see that they're good enough and that when his time comes, he'll take less money. He'll take where he roughly deserves to be paid. I really hope Sue comes back, and I hope he doesn't require top money. Because honestly, there's guys that are better. J.J. Watt is better. You know, I'd rather have Patrick Willis probably. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But there's other guys that are out there that I would love to have. You know, certain linebackers and corners and, superstars there. Over Sue for the type of money he probably wants. Again, it's just speculation at this point, and we'll see what happens. But I really hope Sue decides to come back. And after his emotional response after the game, I think we'll see him in a Lions uniform next year. I just wonder if it's going to be under a franchise tag because the money's not right. What else? Golden Tate played really well this year. I'm really glad we picked him up. I still think we need a third option. I think we need another guy to, I wouldn't say replace Calvin Johnson, but a guy who can stretch the field like Calvin. Like a couple years ago, I wanted Sammy Watkins. Actually, yeah. So I think he would have been awesome if we could have got him. I think we get another guy, a third guy. We might have something on offense. And I can't believe I'm saying it. I almost want us to draft another wide receiver. Terrible, huh? So, anyways, good for you, Cowboys, whatever. I don't expect much of you. I think you're a garbage team. I really think you're going to lose to Green Bay, and if not, Seattle should wipe the floor with you. I'd be extremely shocked if Dallas went on to win the Super Bowl or even made it to the Super Bowl. That would be interesting, and I'd have to root against them. As for the AFC, I'd like to see Tom Brady over Peyton Manning in the AFC Championship, and I'd like to see Tom Brady win another Super Bowl and possibly retire. I think if there was time to retire, I think it'd be a good time right after a Super Bowl. So that's what I'd like to see for the playoffs. As for the Lions in the offseason, things that I think they need to address, I think you need to figure out a replacement for Dominic Raiola, for sure. I think Stephen Tulloch, maybe you got to look at a replacement for him. DeAndre Levy played excellent this year. Give him another linebacker with him. I think you'll be solid in the front seven, even without Sue, if he were to leave. Because, you still got Fairley. You still got some other guys up there that can play really well. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, I do want to keep Sue. I really hope he stays. When we drafted him, I was so happy. And I like him. People say he's a dirty player. I'm fine with it. He's our dirty player. No different than when you had the Raiders playing dirty and tackling people by the throats. And, you had the steel curtain and the Steelers defense. People said they were dirty. Love those guys. The Ravens in the early 2000s. Sometimes people said that their players were a little dirty. Loved that. I love gritty, aggressive defensive players. And they might not be mentally stable, and that's why they stomp on people and do crazy stuff. I'm okay with it, as long as they're my guys. So, I'm a Lions fan. What can I say? But, you know, if I had to, I think we overachieved this year. I think we got a lot of good bounces. So we'll see what happens next year. I'll probably do some more videos about the Lions when we get closer to the draft and give you my thoughts on who we should draft, what I think our draft strategy should be. Free agency, I'll probably talk about that a little bit. And yeah, so if you're interested in any of that, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share my video with your friends. Thank you. Bye-bye.